which indicate large waves, and this is our source of income, where we leave our land and go in the middle of the ocean. We go into fishing. We get our usual income with its trouble, winds, unstable conditions and weather, but we have to do it every day. If we continue just to focus in our ocean, it is usually stressful. And on this picture, I made a clear, combination of both the ocean and also the sky. Just looking up in the sky, you see a beautiful clouds, and behind the clouds are rays of sun, which indicates hopefully a rain, hopefully source of life. Light indicate also a new day, and these two resembles for me the ocean and the need to go in spite of the waves, in spite of the struggle, in spite of the whatever happens there, is our usual daily profession, and we have to do it. Where the sky is our ventilation, our area to breathe, and we see it with the clouds and the sun. With that, my presentation to see if hobbies, al-Hawaya, have any room in our profession as physicians. And I made my presentation divided to 6 parts, defining what's hobbies and how many are they, or classification criterias, and for any one of us, how to find your own hobby. Then I'll give you my personal experience. Before I end, I'll talk about the impact of creative types of hobbies, and can you take your hobby to a higher level? We start with the definition. Sorry. You see the slides? I'm having a problem with the slides.
سلايد واضحة لكن ما فيها كلام.
ايه مشكلة هذه ده بالكلام.
طيب لو ترسل لي اسويها من عندي؟
It's a large for فيها 370 ميجا بايت. Should I take it out؟ يعني I stop sharing وأحاول مرة ثانية؟
إيه جرب.
Okay, let us try again and see why. عذرا، بس دائما الإنسان يتخوف من التكنولوجي إنه أحيانا يكون سلاح ذو حدين. It gives you all the pleasure of simplifying or ending or sending your message. At the same time, it can destroy your presentation. So I'm going to take my presentation to the desktop. Hopefully that will be easier than presenting through my flash memory. It has 370 megabytes in all. Just give me a second, I'll upload it again. I'm trying to open it. Like, you know, let me, okay, close the first one. Close the other one. Okay. أنا أحاول أسكر كاملا وأبدأ من جديد. What's when we say hobby, we mean something we like, not something we have to do. And this is presentation. Do you see my presentation now? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, doctor.
Okay. طيب, well, hopefully it will move كويس. Okay. Second slide, Hadi, just to show when things are at the surface area, calm, no wind, whatever you see at work will be reflected inside. You are calm, you're happy, no stress. And hopefully that's what we need from our hobbies. Your usual activity, be it daily, weekly, or monthly, have to be balanced between these 7 activities. أحد منكم ما يتكلم عربي بس أعرف؟ يعني في أحيانا أحتاج أن أتكلم بالعربي وأقلبها إنجليزي. في anybody speaks no Arabic?
Yes. أيوة فينا. Yes.
Okay, so I'll focus on English. In this cartoon or slide, just to show that our daily, maybe weekly or monthly activity have to be balanced and balanced onto 7 issues. The first and an important one in our life, اللي هو religion, where your commitment to Allah, it have to be balanced. You have to do it. The extreme of it will not be accepted even. رهبانية ابتدعوها. If you do something more than what was required from you, you will not be accepted. So the first one, which is religion, then the second part is finance. Finance, where you support yourself and your dependents. The third one is your family, your commitment to your immediate family and extended family, parents and brothers and sisters. The fourth part is your job. In this slide, I'd like to say a message for all of us. When we say our commitment to job, some of us, inshallah, none of you, they put their own regulation. I do my job based on my own regulation. للأسف, you cannot do that. It has to be based on the policy of your own work. More until you commit yourself to come between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock and leave the rest of the day, nor to come from 6 o'clock and leave at 8 o'clock in the evening. Where the job requires you to be around from 8 to 5, you have to be around from 8 to 5. The fifth part or activity is the social activity. You are committed to your friends, your extended family, neighbors. The sixth one is your health. It's a mandatory. Most of us are busy with our profession, but in the same time, you have to look into exercise and healthy food. Last part is knowledge. The knowledge, be it for your own personal knowledge related to your religion, related to knowing your finance, related to your own work. I showed you 7 activities, but I did not show you anything related to hobbies. Where does hobby fall in these 7 activities? It may fall in more than one place, but I thought it fall more at the site of activity and the site of knowledge. So you can choose a hobby which will support you in both, give you more science and knowledge and experience, and also if you do it with activity, it will give you a better health. Defining the hobby, it's not the thing you have to do, which is your work. Rather, it is something you like to do. So defining hobby is a favorite activity that a person does for pleasure, not as his or her regular business. What does it do for you, the hobby? The hobby, explore interest outside your own line of work. You explore a lot of things. And at the same time, you get creative on that part of hobby. The beauty of it, it's not mandatory. So if you are bored with it, you can change to another type of hobby, or take a different specialty on that hobby. I'll just give you two issues related to gaining a new skill in anything, say language skill or citation Quran اللي هو التجويد. If you need to learn a new thing, just to learn the general idea of it, you need 28 days. You need 1 hour daily for 28 days to learn anything new. Learn anything new. But to master a new activity or knowledge, you need to do it daily for 5 years. To be competitive like the Olympic people or being a football player, you need to do it daily. You need to do it in a long period, making up to 5 years. Okay. Jeddah sunset. Classification of hobbies. Hobbies may fall under 3 categories. The first one is collection or observation. Collections like you collect maps or stamps or antiques or old boxes, and observation like bird watching, maybe photography fall also under this category. Where physical, the second type is physical exertion. All games like football, basketball, swimming, gardening fall under that category. Last one is creative. Creative work where you do things by your hand and also needs imagination. Writing, painting, woodcrafting. These are the general classification of hobbies. But sometimes one hobby take more than one subtype, say photography, where it is mainly observation. But at the same time, if you take the photography and you take landscape and you need to do hiking 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers to reach the top of the mountains to take pictures, that will give you the 2 subtypes of hobbies, being observative, at the same time you do physical activity. Is there a difference between male and female in choosing their activities or hobbies? Yes. Males usually tend to do things or love things with gadgets, machines, sports, cars. And these are examples like fishing, diving, scuba diving, photography, martial arts are types of activity male like. Females tend to do others like arts, beading, candle making, maybe jewelry making. But families like brother and sister or husband and wife may take a hobby which suits both of them, collecting antiques or astrology اللي هو علم النجوم والفضاء, bird watching, cooking, gardening, all can be combined with 2 male and female. Okay, you ask me a question now. How about me as a person? I need to choose a hobby. How can I choose a hobby? There are 3 elements in choosing a hobby. First, what's your current interest? What do you like? Do you like activity? Do you like reading? Do you like painting? What do you see more of interest of you? And go back to your childhood. What was also things which you liked at that time? And maybe also the third part is to explore new ideas. Now, the beauty of the internet and the Google and YouTube's give you a lot of room to think and look into new things. These 3 ways of figuring out your own interest and hobby have to be also limited by your own budget. Okay, what's budget? Budget means you have to pay for your hobby. Where work, they give you the money by the end of the month. Hobbies usually take money from you. but they give you pleasure. Budgets say you like mountain climbing, so you have to have gadgets which fits that activity, and you have to have a car which can reach to that area, or you have to travel by airplane to a distant countries where you can do your activity there. So budget is an important hobby. Okay. Can any one of you just read for me this picture? Just quickly describe what do you see? Any one of you, please. أحد شجاع كذا يعطينا كومنت سريعة؟ كلكم شجعان لكن أبغى واحد يعطيني رأيه في الصورة هذه. What do you see? Okay. نافي?
I can.
Please go ahead.
I see two things.
نعم.
شوف الروقان
نعم.
بنفس الوقت back pain.
اوكي. جميل. طيب أنا أعطيك رأيي. أيضا نفس الكلام بالضبط. أنا I see at the top of the picture colors, green, life, light, and a person who's walking as a farmer. But this is what you see. But down on the picture itself, you see the reflection. This farmer, life is gray, reflected on the water. At the same time, you say that she's bending forward, and she give you the reflection of the water, give you the real feeling of that farm. هل هذه فلسفة? Maybe, but this is sometimes what you see as a photographer. As a photographer, you look into things hidden in any site you'd like to take a photo of, and you different than painters. Painters, they add elements to the canvas where the photographer, you know, they omit things which is not related to the photo itself. Photography is part of an observation and hobby, but you can add physical activity to it. It is observant. They usually look into minute details in the area they take picture in. Sometimes you need to be very patient and preservatives, appreciate the area. Tell you about patience. To take a photo of birds, sometimes you wait and hide for 2 hours, 3 hours, just to wait for that bird to sit in a certain branch of that tree to take a beautiful bird photography. This hobby of photography also helps you to think beyond your usual sphere. People who tend to do photography as a hobby, they keep photos with memories, and a year, 2 years, 3 years, you come back to your photos and remember exactly minute by minute what happened during that travel or your vacation when you did that photo. Anybody can take a photo, but the photographer do have more understanding of how the photo, the basic of photography, light, shadow, main element, composition, and others. This hobby can be very expensive, but not always. If you are talented, you may, with a small, low budget camera and lenses, you get the best photo. There are famous photographers in the world. I may be one of them. This is me, Ibrahim Al-Alwan, and this is my lens of 800 millimeter. I take this lens for bird photography and wildlife. And there are other also famous people who take photos. الملك عبد الله رحمة الله عليه. لكن في فرق بين كاميرتي وكاميرته أيضا دون تعليق. Okay, I did not talk about myself, like quickly, just to tell you a few things, and then we give you my experience in photography. Currently, I'm a pediatric endocrinologist at National Guard Health Affairs. At the same time, I am the Vice President for Higher Education. I was the Pediatric Residency Program Director until 2005, and become the Vice Dean and Dean for 10 years in College of Medicine at King Abdulaziz University, King Saud bin Abdulaziz University for Health Sciences. Same time, I was president of medical education in the Eastern Mediterranean region for 8 years, finished last year. I also was the founder of Saudi Pediatric Endocrinology, was the chairman for 8 years, finished 3 years ago. I was the first person to chair and start the Saudi License Exam Bank at the Saudi Commission, representing the Saudi Deans, College of Medicine at Saudi Arabia. Also, I like teaching. During the residency program, I took 4 in a row best tutor in pediatric department. If you've seen a couple of pictures, or all of the pictures in the previous presentation was taken by myself. So photography is my hobby. Was it all the time? No. If you see in this slide, I was program director until 2005. Prior to 2005, I liked photography, but I had no camera. And my hobby started after I finished being a program director and moved to the new university, to the College of Medicine. That I started to develop my skills of photography. During the residency program, I was too busy. If you see the slide here, a fellow at Toronto University, pockets full of patient information and list of patients we need to do rounds around. Unhappy, even our patients 13 years old who's taller than me. But when I became a dean, although I'm short, still short, 166 centimeters, and beside me is another dean from Maastricht University, Holland. He's 205 centimeter. At that time, I don't care. I am now at the top of my career, finished my essential learning and basis of my profession. The beauty of the slide also, you may see King Abdullah في الكورنر right side of the slide. يضحك حتى على نفس الطول، تباين الطول بيني وبين الأذر دي. The start of my photography, if you see the slide, this is a sunset photo. It has colors. Most of the picture is sky. It's considered okay لأنها has sharp details for the clouds, also the sun. The colors are good. لكن فيها عيوب. يعني with time you learn more in photography. What are the mistakes or the problem with this photo? If you see down, the first thing, there is no main subject. There is no certain mountain with a beautiful shape, no trees with a certain shape. And also you see the line of the electricity balls in the right side of the photo, which يعني does not give the photo the 100% look of it. The start, 2005, 2006, also I go to remote areas in Saudi Arabia to take night photography where there is light is very low. منطقة حائل غربيها about 200 kilometers west of حائل, المسمى mountains. You can take photos of the stars, and you take about 100 photos and you compose all of them together, that to show you the movement of the stars. picture is good, and it showed you the movement of the stars. Like, still the mountain is dark. The details of it is not the best. East of Riyadh, اللي هو طريق الدمام, about 100 kilometers. You stop there على النفود, and you take pictures of the Milky Way. The Milky Way is the above part of this slide, and although the picture is good, Lana, this is my first picture of Milky Way. Like, no, it's not sharp. The details of the Milky Way is not sharp. Nor the grass at the sand dunes. They are hazy because of the wind. With time, I get more experienced, and the experience to take a photo is not just to pull your camera and take the shot. No, you have to be precise. What's precise? Show you here a sunset from the airplane. When I take a trip anywhere and I'd like to take a photo to the city I'm leaving or the city I'm going to, I do my exercise. What's my exercise? First, I know which cabinet I'm in, first class, economy, business class. Then I know which direction I'm going to. Say I'm going to Europe, London. So what time of the day I'm going to leave from here or to arrive there. And I need to know what's the aircraft type. So I Google them. I know from the reservation what's the type, and then I Google the site or the structure of that airplane. So I choose the seat, window seat, to the side where there is no wing beside me, the wing of the airplane, no to obstruct my photo taking. So I do exercise every time I go any flight, knowing the airplane, knowing where's the wing, which windows I sit either in the left side of the airplane, A side, or to the D, E, F side, the left side. That's to take a perfect photo. With that, you can take as good as this picture from up in the airplane down to the ground, clouds beneath you, also the land beneath you. I get also with the time, the perfectionist of doing a photo is to take elements which is not needed. They should not be part of your photo. So the small village in the left-hand side of this picture was taken out, not there. But if you look into the tip of this mountain, اللي يعرف الموقع هذا, this is end of the world, اللي هو حافة العالم, between العيينة وحريملة. At the top of this mountain, you see 3 people, 2 standing and 1 sitting. Behind them, their car. I did not take their picture, لأنه I have to. No, I put that picture of these 3 people and their car to make the size of the mountain. This is for scale reason. So to appreciate how tall is this mountain. This mountain is at least 1,600 meters from sea level side to the top of that mountain. And to appreciate the scale, I left the photo or these people, these 3 persons with their car there. I went from a sunset of no composition to a sunset with houses, different sizes, although they are silhouette, but they give you the shape of a small city and a sun setting behind them. Photo of the night. Also, there is a composition here where you see Nafura in Jeddah Corniche. Beauty and easy of night photography, that the elements are you can choose 1 or 2 elements maximum, and you can take 1 photo alone to do your to make your photo. But sometimes need more than photo to do it. Here in Nafud, around Saad, 100 kilometers east of Riyadh, me and my friend at the top of that sand dunes, the shining star there is the moon, and to the right side of the dunes are the highway to Dammam, where you can see part of our bodies, me and my friend, because of the fire we had, and also our, I think we used our iPhones to eliminate part of our bodies. Night photography also is easy if you take it just after sunset. The sky will be very blue, but in this composition, I could not do a photo of the tower by itself alone, and also take the moon sharp as what we see in this photo. This photo, we call it composite. Composite معناها more than one photo. I took for the tower 1 picture. At the same time, my camera is mounted to my tripod. I took another shot to the moon, and I put them together. I composed both of them and made one photo. This is the same thing where fireworks, you focus into the mosque, Rajhi, and then you take 1 photo for the background. And when they do the fireworks, you take them and you compose it over the site, so you will be both clear. The building you are taking the picture of, and the fireworks you are taking off. This is also 3 pictures, not 1, in one frame. I took 1 for the background, اللي هو Riyadh Kingdom Towers, and then 1 halfway through, and 1 just near to me. And these 3 pictures were made together to make one photo. This picture has more than 12 meteors, shuhub. I took this picture in Al-Alwan, and the main subject are al-meteors, shuhub. You see them as 1 line, light line. ما غيرت محل الكاميرا. The camera was fixed to the tripod. I made my composition very simple. 1 clear tree, background is just the sky, and I waited. I took maybe 300 pictures. Out of the 300 pictures, I had about 16 meteors, اللي هم الشهب, and then I took the most bright of them. I made them only in 1 picture. Sunrise and sunset are beautiful things to take photo of, and they can be for lands like New Mexico in the south of the state, or Alaska, top west of the state, European country like Slovenia, and Ottawa, Canada. Photographers, they prefer the golden lights. They prefer the sunset or the sunrise. Rarely, professional photographers will take pictures during the daytime. Very rare. And this is also sunset in Slovenia, sunset in Suda, Abha region. And the beauty of this picture that you see down left of the photo is the clouds rising from Tuhama up to the mountain and covering the whole village beneath it. And the mountain on the right side had a storm, lightning storm, and was lighting all the night. When do we take pictures during the daytime? We take pictures when we see clouds. The clouds, they can move fast if it is a windy day, and you can use filters to show the motion of these clouds. The best time may be an hour before sunrise or an hour before sunset. Also that the light is not harsh. Harsh معناه إيش? During the daytime we call it as a photographer washed light. يعني ما فيها السماء ما تكون زرقتها واضحة كثير. مدائن صالح the same time, it's the daytime, but I used filters for the clouds to show the motion of the clouds. القصر الفريد. Another photo from مدائن صالح to another site with clouds أيضا moving. When you have more clouds covering beneath you, إذا كنت في منطقة mountain area, and above you, you can take photos during the daytime too. هذه في canyons west of the state. Daytime, you can also take pictures of reflections. هنا في غدير بسيط في منطقة سدير during spring last year. Reflection is beautiful even during the mid of the day. You've seen picture I took more of landscape pictures. And here I'm having my tripod and my long lens. I take pictures of birds. And part of my love to photography is birds. Birds, they have colors, they have motion. They challenge you to take them in the proper position or the proper flight. Southern part of Saudi Arabia has a lot of good birds, and also the west part of the Saudi Arabia. Small birds, Tumair al-Filistini, have two colors. This is the male, black with different body colors. And either Red Sea or Al-Gulf Sea, you can take birds on seashores. You can attract them. يعني احنا نسوي way to bring these birds towards you by throwing fish to them, and they will come to you, and you take the action of these birds in action. I developed the interest in birds photography, so I went several parts of Saudi Arabia and then outside. Outside is start with UK. In UK, they can rent you a hide, يعني مخبأ, in certain parts, in the rivers or in the farms, where you can see certain birds. And this bird is called kingfisher. It's a small bird. Fish it's the main food, and it goes in the water perpendicular to earth, يعني 90 degrees exactly. It goes inside the water and comes up with small fish. With the skills and observing birds, as a photographer, you learn when to take the picture. This is a site of our grandparents' farm in Sder region, and just approaching the gate of the farm, I saw the one on the right-hand side of the slide, a baby birds, and it is moving its wings very fast, quickly, waving the wings several times. I know from experience that this is a baby one, and that it is waiting for one of its parents to bring a food. Immediately, I stopped, went back to the back of the car, brought my camera with the big lens, and waited for either the father or the mother to come in. Here, a couple of minutes, the mother came in, and she is feeding the baby directly its food. I know that this is a female bird, the one in the left-hand side, because the color. The male usually has more colors, has a dark chest, where the females has a dull colors. Observation also to know that the bird is trying to take off and fly. You be ready. You wait for a minute, 5 minutes, half an hour. But when they start, you click your shutter. You take several pictures in a row. Observation 2. This is الوروار أو البلبل. الوروار اللي هو أكل النحل. Is here in Riyadh, not far away. We go to Al-Hair, around also farms. You see these beautiful birds. During the spring, وقت التزاوج, the colors will be more bright. ولما يجي السمر والwinter time, they lose their colors. This kind of birds you cannot differentiate male and female. والواضح لي انه واحدة معصبة يظهر لي اللي في الرايت سايد والميل اللي في الليفت سايد. هذا my just impression, ما ادري صحيح ولا لا. Also part of photography, you can take macro photography for flowers, and that's when you cannot go outside far away and it is either dusty or things which does not allow you to go far away from your home. You can also do experiments in photography. This is a kind of small sheets of metal, and you put them in fire and you roll them around in a circle side, and they will just shed fire around who the person take them, and you take this circle, nice rays of fire. I've told you that I start to do the experience of photography after I finished my being a program director and 6 years of being a consultant at National Guard. Then from 2006, when I became the dean, I want to take my photography as a hobby to a little bit better level. So I joined workshops. And I went to several parts of the world. One of it is Costa Rica, so central part of America. I joined famous photographers, international photographers, and took with them courses. In that course, we took pictures of small birds. They're called hummingbirds. Hummingbirds, the size حقهم your finger size exactly. They move their wings very fast, up to 80 movement per second. يعني سريع جدا جدا. And so to take this picture, you need to be experienced, and you learn from these expert people. Another photo of the hummingbird. Another beautiful hummingbird species with flowers. Another type also of hummingbirds. Went to Alaska with another international workshop for bald eagles. Bald eagles catching fish from the ocean. Went to UK again for kingfishers. Kingfishers diving or catching fish. Hummingbirds, Ecuador. طائر النورس أنواع وفي terns. يصيدون أيضا سمك. They catch fish, and this is in a small island around Amluj, island where the full island is full of these species. During the summertime, August, يكون في وقت التفريغ, for they have a lot of babies and they go into the sea, brings fish, they feed their babies. Also from the interest of photography, I like the lightning. lightning can happens in the city, so you watch the weather, you know exactly where is it. So you stay in a top of an area where you can see it from around the city. This is in Toronto, Canada. Another photo of lightning in the city. And maybe 5 years ago, I joined another international well-known photographer in the state. I took with him a trip, 10 days, chasing lightning over 4 states. This is the closest, يعني أقرب lightning to me was maybe 20 meters from me, and the guide was shouting, Ibrahim, Ibrahim, come to the car. Alhamdulillah, قدر ربي إني ما أصبت بشيء, لكن it was a big bolt of lightning not far away from me. The same trip, I was coming out بعد صلاة الفجر من الغرفة الفندق small motel to cross the road. شفت lightning, أخذت صورة فيها. If you see the left side lightning في haziness, أما الواحد اللي صار على الroad itself is very fixed و very good. This is one of يعني a good photos for lightning I took during that trip. Aurora, النورثن لايت اللي لونها أخضر هذه وأحيانا تتلون بألوان إضافية. I made several trips to Norway, Iceland, Denmark, Alaska to take pictures of these phenomena happens during the winter time. نشوف الألوان اللي هو حمار whitish color على الجرين aurora. Some of the photos by iPhone only في محلات جميلة زي مكة. You can also practice different methodology. هنا تثبت الكاميرا بالفندق توجهها على الحرم. The people inside are not moving, they are clearly positions واضحين جدا. أما any people who move, because the picture was taken during the night time, any movement will just show you a motion. فهنا يبين لك الناس اللي قاعدين يسوون طواف أثناء فترة التراويح. تسألني واحد منكم يقول أنت ما تصلي؟ لا، أنا كنت أصلي. أنا مثبت الكاميرا على البوزيشن و put a remote control, let it go for half an hour while I'm doing صلاة التراويح. المسجد النبوي مسجد في تركيا. The beauty of that mosque is that you see only the mosque white color and the building in front of it with a red roof, and the full village was covered by clouds, fog. مع الوقت بدأنا نسوي أشياء إضافية منها مثلا smoke، صور بس smoke as a picture ويحط فيها different structure. أيضا the same light تركب السيارة أو الطائرة تثبت الكاميرا على محل إضاءة وتتحرك في السيارة تطلع لك أحجام أشكال ملونة غريبة. I did water drops اللي هي نقطات الماء تسقط على إناء صغير جدا. I did experience several hundreds of these pictures, and one of my best photos of the water drops, I made the Saudi flags behind الإناء اللي فيه الماء. I put 2 flashes to the side of the water drops. سرعتهم سريعة جدا. one out of 100,000 second، معناها جزء من 100,000 جزء من الثانية to capture الwater drop. وكان فيها في اللقطة هذه الفلاج inside the water drops. فهذه من أجمل الصور اللي أخذتها أنا الwater drops. Lately أيضا بديت أضيف machines للكاميرا حقتي ساعدني على أني أخذ الميلكي واي بصورة أوضح جدا بكل تفاصيلها. This is also من جبال المسمى west of حائل. Milky Way in the same region. هاي اللي يفهم من كثر السلايدات هذا والبيكتشرز اني I'm stopping work. لا انا ولا الحمد continuing my work as a physician. I am the one in the middle. وايضا this is my office في اليونيفرسيتي as the vice president. لكن الحمد لله يعني I am reaching my top of my career. I'm enjoying my hobby to relieve stress or enjoyment. In this picture, I have to my left-hand side, my son, who already had a PhD in engineering, Asar bin Abdulaziz, and his friend in the right side is a Tunisian engineer, both graduated من الملك عبد الله للعلوم التقنية في KAUST. Did not stop me. Even I continued to do research. I took best of research as a new trial, controlled trial, international studies on medication for type 2 diabetes in adolescents. I went to New York to receive the award of excellence as a researcher. Wallah alhamd, yani the hobby does not stop you from doing your own actual work. Last two slides, the positive impact of hobbies. Hobbies can give you outlet from a daily stressors. It may lower your blood pressure. It may give you better physical activity. شوفون الصور اللي تو بعضها I go into the mountains 5 كيلو 6 كيلو carrying a bag of cameras تصل 20 كيلو معي على ظهري. لكن this is give me fitness وأيضا enjoyment. It gives you higher positive psychological states, less memory loss. الناس اللي يسوون الأشياء اللي فيها memory ذكاء أثناء اللي لها علاقة في الهوبي, they have a better memories. It helps you in your work performance بعد ما ترجع من إجازاتك. They said it has a positive impact on your life and creativity in your own work. بالنسبة لي شخصياً, photography allowed me to visit every single part of Saudi Arabia. I drove على 13 regions of Saudi Arabia, up north, up to the most south part of Saudi Arabia. 13 منطقة. درت يعني الآن بالشهر الماضي I visited all the 7 continents في العالم, 7 قارات. I visited 55 countries. state بالحالها الأمريكا I visited 27 states, يعني أكثر من الأمريكان نفسه. In this picture I am in the middle of Amazon في الإكوادور in bird photography, small ship وقارب صغير. The month before I was in Chile, went down to Antarctica اللي هو القطب الجنوبي, جلسنا في أسبوعين كاملات. We are in the main ship, like we go down in zodiacs, small boats to reach the islands. الآيلاندز كلهم ice, يعني ما في حياة هي, لكن في حياة فطرية, penguins and others. Went up the north في areas في تشيلي, ارتفاع الماونتنز هذه فيها براكين up to 6,000 meters above the sea level. السعودية أرفع منطقة فيها, the highest mountain in Saudi Arabia, Suda, 3,400. Where in Chile you can go up to 6,000 meters above the sea level. Even there, يعني في remote areas you find waterfalls, volcanoes, مو كلهم active, لكن you can reach the فوهة البركان اللي هناك. عشان بس you don't mix. الأشقراني هذا اسمه فريدي من أهل تشيلي, واللي قدام هذا إبراهيم العلوان. Okay. You can also enjoy rural areas in your travel, learn different cultures. هذه سان بيدرو شمال تشيلي. هذا المين رود حقهم. هذا أكبر شارع فيهم, والشارع اللي ما عندهم زفلت, يعني كلها مبلطة الشوارع. and even the bicycles are not allowed. You enjoy the scenery. هذه اسمها Patagonia, south of Chile, south of Argentina. Beautiful scenery areas. Last slide. And can you make your hobby, like مثلا mine, photography, to a higher level? Yes, you can use it to teach others, to sell, to get products out of it. You can give your own website, blog others. نعطي أمثلة مثلا توماس إديسون, Wright brothers, Bill Gates, Walt Disney, they have their own hobby, made them to do money out of it. Bill Gates become the richest person in America. I took photography. I made an atlas, pediatric endocrine atlas. First edition كان فيه 2000 نسخة كلها ولا الحمد distributed and some sold. والآن بطبع الطبعة الثانية في pediatric general atlas مع other colleagues بيطلع قريب إن شاء الله. This is what my Instagram page, Prof علوان. لما اختار الاسم الابن عاصم حفظه الله هو اللي فتح لي السايت هذه. قال والدي تحتاج ان الناس يشوفون البيكتشرز. I made it. I don't have major followers, but يعني around 2000. Most of the pictures there are birds معهم أيضا landscape. This is my last slide. Thank you for listening. وأتمنى أنكم استفدتوا من part of my presentation. شكرا.